But I do want to hop into this mental health forum that you're going to.
Oh,
When you found out that you made this list of 30 young creators and activists, like nuts to begin
oh my
with.
gosh. It was really like I cried. Like I remember that like it was the most incredible feeling because I don't even remember where I ended up seeing this application. I just like I thought it was I got it in some newsletter or something. I was like, oh, for sure, I'll like put my information in here. And what I really appreciated was like they recognized that my business was in this like growing stage, but like I think it was really like the story that they were like the one that I just like spoke about earlier, like with the ADHD and family classes, and like really realizing like why mental health was important to me. I
Yeah.
think it was that basis that they just kind of decided to move forward, and I was like, I just freaked out because it had been a minute. I mean, like I had left Amazon. It had been like about a year and a half, like almost 2 years at that point. Like I had been far from any corporate entity or just even any institution at that point. I'm like, I just want to be like back in the world a little bit. Like I felt it's hard when you like have always like grown up attaching yourself to some sort of institution and then you like
Yes.
choose to quit cold turkey and you're like, I don't know if enough people talk about that, but it's like
Yeah.
very jarring. It's like
Yeah.
it is definitely something that like I knew I was getting myself into to an extent, but it's just like because I knew I'd be like, all right, like the healthcare, the 401k, all these things, I'm gonna have to figure them out and see what's gonna happen there. Like I recognize that, but it's like just like the identity portion of it where you're just like, I don't know who I am without
Like
this.
I'm at this group with all these people and how do I
Yeah,
fit into this?
right.
It's like an almost like an identity crisis. So you're like, I don't I would flip if
Yeah.
and I would have been like, I don't deserve to quite be here.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of that, like especially like with like UNC and just like that whole journey started to really make me feel like, all right, like I know that I have worked hard for this, and I think that that imposter syndrome takes so much time to erode, but like it takes time. You get to it finally, and I was like, I was so thrilled about it. Now I'm finding out like Selena Gomez is gonna be there. It's like it's
I saw that on your Instagram story and I'm like yesterday and I was like, I'm sorry. What? I was like, Selena
yeah.
Gomez is gonna be here. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna freak when if you like get a picture with her and I'm like, I'm gonna
Oh,
freak
fingers
out.
crossed. Let's see how it goes. Like she has a new business called Wondermind, I believe, and I'm
Yes.
not 100% sure what it does yet, but I know that there's like a newsletter you can subscribe to, and she's founded it with like two other wonderful people, and like there's something that she's doing in the mental health area, and I'm so grateful that
Yeah.
someone with so much influence is coming out and supporting that because it just like the gravity that that sort of like appearance has is so
Yeah.
big because you get the eyes going in the place that like we're really trying to make some change in, and mental health, like youth mental health, is where the problem,
Yes.
so much of the problem just begins, and for very unfortunately sometimes ends like when people like make these decisions where they feel like they're alone. And so
Yeah.
making sure that people don't feel alone is a very complex sort of problem to address with one business or one
Yeah.
endeavor or one podcast. But when we're putting more attention on these things and all
Yes.
these sort of incremental small, the podcasts, the conversations, the consults, the meetings, the
Yeah.
community events, whatever, like
Yeah.
these sort of things do start to like they move the needle a little bit, and that's like
Yeah.
that incremental grassroots level change is
Yeah.
at the end of the day what I think is the most important. It's the
Yeah.
way we talk to each other, the way we're addressing fears in crisis, the way we're making sure that intersectional advocacy is occurring. Like these sort of things are what is going to be addressed at the White House. And we,
Yeah.
as a group of 30, we've kind of divided ourselves now into 5 or 6 groups, and we're all each presenting a certain campaign at the White House. So we're going to be we've been developing them over the past 6 weeks. We've been having like weekly meetings and just kind of like working with the mentors from MTV's side. And then like there's about 18 nonprofits like Born This Way or NAMI, and just like all
Yeah.
these different people are coming in and giving us some guidance on how to really create effective campaigns. And we're trying to push some really cool stuff forward. So there's going to be some partners there. I'm excited, like Spotify, Snapchat, TikTok, etc. And they could possibly pick up our campaigns too. So we've just been like kind of hard at work at developing them and trying to make them as resonant with our youth and our peers as possible. So I've been trying to get as much feedback as I can, and like doing this with you is like amazing because it's really just like helping to get more of the word out on it. So just thank
Yeah.
you for the
Yeah. No,
opportunity.
this is super, and I'm so happy that this is like, even if it's the first ever one, I'm so happy that they're just doing it to begin with, because
Mhm.
it just, even if all six campaigns get picked up by somebody, like that is more spread
Yeah.
than we could possibly imagine, and it could hit so many different people, which I think would be incredible.